It's your girl, just Risa, with stories present and past, and a little sparkle and sass. Pour that iced tea, we're sipping it tonight. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell and stay tuned. And always remember, be unapologetically you.
Hello, YouTube. It's your girl, just Risa, telling you, you better hit like, you better hit subscribe, you better hit notify. You never know when Risa gonna go live. I wasn't planning on this today, but I got some things I got to address because people want to do more drama, and Risa just got to address things. But first, we're gonna find us some vibes because I got some good vibes today. So while I wait for anybody to plop over, here we go.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood, living in the present, not what I shoulda or could. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does, turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. It's a good day, no, it's great. Everything I prayed for didn't come in late. I got all I need and I didn't have to wait. Ask me if you love me, you didn't hesitate. Turning all things to gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back. That's why I'm singing that I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. In every single way. God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. It's a good day. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. It's a good day. It's a good day.
That was by Forrest Frank. So hello, everybody in YouTube. I hope everybody has a great day on this silent Saturday in between Good Friday on the cross and Resurrection Sunday. I was doing a live earlier. I made a playlist of a bunch of Easter songs, and if you are interested in any of that, I encourage you to go and look at it. Just kind of an Easter message from me. And again, if you miss the message tomorrow on my other channel, on In Her Sandals, I am going to be posting our Easter service tomorrow afternoon after we wrap up church, just so I can go in and edit anything out that is private information for people that are in our congregation. And you will be blessed by hearing our Easter Sunday message. I just know it because I am blessed every Sunday by listening to my leaders in my faith. So, yes, I do want to address some of the drama because I just got to address it before things run out of hand any more than it already is. So, that's what this live is going to be about. I am currently out of time credit thingies to make a thumbnail, so I don't have a thumbnail on this. This one is going to be titled, oh my goodness, I even forgot right now. Standing in Truth, Not Drama. That is the name of this live stream. Standing in Truth, Not Drama. And I'm just going to talk. And if you're in my chat, I can address things as we need to address them because Risa is so tired of all of this drama that happened over a year ago that I have been trying to pivot away from. Hi there. How are you doing today? Good to see you live. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Well, actually, today is Saturday. It's Saturday now. Friday was yesterday. It's Saturday now. Or Saturday where I am, anyway, in the United States. But yes, how are you today? So, here we go. All righty. Saturday, you meant exactly. It's Saturday. It's not Sunday. Or Friday. It's not Friday. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday, though. Alrighty. So I'm going to address this cleanly and clearly, and then I'm moving on. I've been trying to do this for a while, and people aren't getting that. So before I get into specifics, I want to say this. This is not going back into drama. I can go back into history just like everybody else with all of this saga, with all of this crazy drama are doing right now. I can do that too. I'm choosing not to. This is about clarity over here today, and this is about how I choose to move and how I operate because people don't care to get to know Risa and people think they know Risa and they don't. Because I am not like the other people that you are used to on YouTube. I have been very intentional about shifting away from all of the drama and focusing more on Christian content, on growth, and on doing things with purpose. I've been making things with Bonnie and Clyde with true crime. I've been making educational content that none of you have even seen. I'm not wanting to do this drama at all. But at the same time, I want to step up for my friends and I want to stand up for truth. So I've been in some of the chats. I'm not in there causing drama. I'm just supporting who I support and sharing what I know, what truth is, because this is what I saw a year ago, what I have direct evidence of. And people have got to remember what they were doing a year ago in some instances. Sorry, my microphone fell over. So, this is what happened today. I'm going to clarify. I was doing my Easter live, and you got to understand, I plan out everything I do on YouTube. I am not reactionary like other people are. I plan it out. I listened to those songs all day yesterday, planning things out. I listened to them, I don't know how many times. So this morning during my live stream, as they were playing, I was looking at some of the other chats just to see what was going on. And then I was coming in and I was doing my commentary in between my Easter songs because I've been worshiping all weekend. I was worshiping all day yesterday. I went into the Goddess's chat. And there is some confusion about some things that have been said lately with some identity of people and what actually happened lately and also a year ago. So I spoke up, and this had to do with Star. Okay? Had to do with Star. I was around during that time frame a year ago in those same chats with a lot of you. A lot of you know. A lot of you know. Okay? So, Jane, you muted me just because you didn't like what I was saying. And I was telling the truth. And you wanted to argue with me because you want to continue to stir up the drama. I was clarifying the truth that I know for fact. And I'm not saying this emotionally, I'm just stating what happened. I wasn't being disruptive over there. I wasn't causing chaos. I wasn't even listening because I was in the middle of my own live stream that I started very early this morning. I made one thing clear to correct something, and it was about dark matter and Star and some identity confusion that was going on. And Star talked about this, and everybody wants to say it's that we're lying, they're making things up. So I spoke up because I know for a fact that what she was saying was truthful. I know that. Okay. Jane didn't like that I was telling the truth and wanted to argue and say that Star was lying. To dark matter. The person being discussed with Star was not the same person you are. You're two completely different people. There was a woman in Mike's chat who went by a different name, who changed her name. I think it was Dark Angel instead of Dark Matter, now that I really think about it. So I think that's where some of the confusion is coming in. But she was a woman. I know her name personally. I spoke with her personally about disability stuff because she has a disability similar to me. That's where the confusion came in. Now, yes, Star had confusion and things got heated, and she's more reactive than me for sure, than other people. And sometimes when you are reactive, this is the response that you end up with. And people get tied to things that don't belong to them. And the whole narrative gets to be built on something that is completely inaccurate. So, what I did was clarify. I know for a fact Dark Matter, who spoke the other day and is clearly male, is not the same person as the dark blank. Like I said, I'm thinking it might be Angel. That Star and I knew from a year ago that she had some issues with. That's what I was saying in the chat. I was originally there. I know the difference. I know what happened then because I saw it all happen myself. Okay? I'm not inserting myself into this. I was correcting something that's wrong and standing up for the truth. And I want to make something really, really clear. This is not about me standing up for Star as a friend. And for clarity, Star and I are really not super close. We're more acquaintances. We do understand each other with some things that have happened to both of us, where we have some commonality. And we started out as friends before all of the drama. Okay? So I'm not standing up for her and trying to come out here and windmill for her. No, I'm telling you this is the truth. And what she was telling you was truthful. This is what I can verify based on what I witnessed. I speak on what I can confirm, not on what I favor. So if someone is saying something, if I am saying something, it's because I know it. Now, I have been wrong in the past, and I have admitted when I made mistakes. Fanny Danny, I admitted to you that I made a mistake in the identity for you, and there's a lot more to it on why I made that assumption. But you going and striking my live about Christian stuff the other day, that was not super cool. And then sending me a message thinking I didn't see it and thinking I didn't pick up on it. And then going on Maggie's and wanting to make little comments. Oh no, I knew what happened. It's because you wanted to be a jerk off and mess with me. Yeah, so Fanny Danny, if you know, you know. Because that no, y'all have lost your mind. Y'all, some people out here have lost their minds. So I'll be honest about my part in all this too. I've been part of this history. I've spoken on things back then. Yeah, I made mistakes. There were times when I was laughed at, dismissed, or not taken seriously. And I'm not going to pretend that I did everything perfectly because I didn't. At times, I got a little carried away. But I've learned from that. And I made a decision to move differently. That's been a process and it's not overnight. This has been a long going process for me. Hey, so this morning in V Goddess's panel, I spoke up on some things and I got muted because I was speaking on the truth. And they don't like when you share truth. And so just back up to this at the beginning and you'll see exactly what happened. Hey, Golden, I'm glad you're listening too because you spoke a lot of truth last night too. And again, I'm not standing up for Star and Golden because they're my friends. I'm standing up for them because I know when somebody is speaking the truth because I was there too and I saw it all. I saw it all. We want to make up our own truth and we want to go off of conspiracy theories. And we want to think because somebody lied about something else, that they're lying about this or they're lying about that. And all of this got to stop. This is insanity. It's insanity. So, yeah, I admit I got a little carried away with things at times. I'm a pretty funny person. I'm very creative. And I got a little carried away trying to be covert and act like I was an undercover. In all honesty, that entire thing was not meant to ever go public. And it's not the way that it came across at all either. Um, it was just because I wanted to see if people would treat me differently based solely on what the avatar looked like. I I didn't do anything differently. I didn't speak anything differently. I just was curious out of my own curiosity. It was not meant to be anything offensive. It was not to be what everybody wants to think of a social experiment. It that came out wrong because I was heated in the moment with somebody who wants to completely Darcy Diamond wants to come up here and spew lies on me and it was taken out of context. Um, it was just a private thing that I was curious about because as I'm embraced for 2 seconds, as a white woman with my personal experiences in life, I'm not always treated the same because of how I look. So I was curious. And I didn't mean for it to come across any other way. I did share a year ago, I admitted all this, that you guys treated me the same regardless of what profile I was under. And I commend you for that. I really do. Because that doesn't always happen out here on YouTube. And that was in that Discord. And some of you hate me just because of that Discord. And we can't get over the fact that that happened, the fact that I did expose it, and the fact that some people were doing things that I think they should be ashamed of at the time. And the entire thing with all of this, with Darcy, with everything, is me reacting to people who would watch my stuff and then go in there and try to stir up drama and make people angry at me and make it into something else. And it was trying to get a point across that I'm not fighting with you guys, everybody. It's just the people who are starting it. But you're not going to do this to me. You're not going to listen to what I say and then go and twist the truth. Same thing is happening today. It's been a year. It's time to get over this. It's time to grow. It's time to move past it or just learn to coexist. You admit it wasn't meant to be offensive. It was a poor choice. It was. I got a little carried away. And I did not want my identity to get doxed out because that's what happens. And I knew that would possibly happen. So it was not meant maliciously at all. And the whole point I went in there was out of curiosity. And then I saw something that I thought was extremely um, alarming and wrong. And I called it out. And people are still angry about me for that choice. They don't have to do a live talking about me and lying on me every single day, and yet they do. And then when eventually I do respond, I'm the jerk. Funny, isn't it? Now, I've told you a couple things. We've talked a tiny bit about being a little too reactionary because sometimes it can be both people in both ways. It depends on how you respond as well. I go back to my phrase that I live my life by. It's not the fall that defines you, it's how you rise from the ashes after. The same thing goes in here. We've messed up or something like that, but it really is how you present yourself and how you're going to decide that you're going to move forward. Oh, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe to Risa, everyone. Thank you. Hit the like. Thank you so much. We got our names and their lives and their titles, and they drag us daily. They've done this to me off and on for a year. I get it. That's where the three of us actually have common ground because I don't agree with everything that's going on either side. But that's where Golden and Star and I have common ground because we have been treated this way. It's just been a while for me because things kind of got quiet for me for a while because I tried to pull back. Oh, thank you so much. You're very welcome, Risa, my friend. Thank you so much. It's been months and they should move on. I've moved on. Exactly. But again, it's how you're going to respond to them on how they will respond to you. And that's how I try to move a little bit differently. I try to step away from the drama. Jane, you were one of the people who encouraged the shift, as well as Darcy Diamond. I have tried to step away and move in a different direction. I have tried to just ignore you when you're in the chat and I'm in there too. I don't say anything to you. I just ignore you. I wish you would do the same. So I've been doing this for a while. And today, yeah, you were in the chat. And in fact, Jane, you are now a mod. And so is Darcy Diamond for V Goddess. What you saw in the chat, that was me moving differently, sharing the truth that I know is fact. I was being calm. I was being direct. I wasn't arguing with anybody. I was just correcting something that was wrong for Dark Matter, who doesn't know because he wasn't there. This isn't chaos. This isn't me inserting myself. There's a difference in chaos and correction. I was correcting the truth. And I was sharing that what they were saying on that live stream that you are all saying is not truth and saying is a lie. No, I can verify this part. I will verify the truth. If it's not the truth, I will verify it's not the truth. When it gets labeled as chaos, it really doesn't line up. It doesn't line up. And I want to separate something here. That's the part that matters. That's the part that matters. This isn't about saying that Jane is twisting one of my messages or Darcy. They've been doing it for quite a while. And there are multiple people with multiple other creators who are taking messages and taking old conversations, old Discord, old lives, old emails, old text messages, and forming their own truth and not even looking at the dates that have to do with it. And none of it comes off as accurate, and none of it comes off as truth. When you do that, you have created your own narrative, your own version of truth, your alternate reality of truth. I have the text messages to prove who Dark. Like I said a while ago, Star, I think it's a different person. I think Dark Angel was the name of the person that you were talking of. The more I think it was Dark Angel instead of Dark Matter. So I think that's where the confusion came in. And I said that earlier before you plopped on. Oh, I hope I'm making sense. I really hope I'm making sense. This is not just about Jane either. I want to make that clear. This is not directed just at her. This is not directed just at anybody. These are just my thoughts and something that happened today, because this is a bigger issue. People have to stop doing this and stop trying to create their own conspiracy theories or create their own narrative and timeline based on spliced messages, and sometimes they're not even the full message or the full context. That happened to me with Ralph the Wise. He showed all of these text messages that I sent him in July and August, only ones I've ever sent. That was a completely different time frame. He didn't explain any of that. See the bigger issue? That's the bigger issue. So, I'll go back and check. Okay, that's good. So what happened earlier? In the moment, Jane, your role was the mod. I wasn't being disruptive. I was giving clarification. And some people were listening to me, and some people were talking to me. In fact, some people who are friendly with me were telling my son happy birthday because today is his birthday. And you wanted to argue a little bit that what I was saying was not truth. And then you muted me. That is another problem. You muted me just because you didn't like what I was saying and sharing. And I was sharing the truth. Vamp is keeping this hate up and lets people lie. The proof needs to be shown. Some things need to be corrected over there. I do agree. Some things, she can do her channel, her. I'm sorry, that came out wrong, because I do respect you with your choices, and I did not mean to mispronounce. I did not mean for that to slip, because I do respect your choices in life, even if I don't agree with them or understand them. So I'm sorry. But some of the things they do are wonderful, and some of the things they do is making a bigger problem. Some of it is shedding light, and some of it is creating the chaos. But the muting, that's where I have a big problem. Snoopy did this too. She wanted to mute me, yet I was part of the conversation. Maggie does this too. More broadly, there's a lot being shared right now without full context or proper timelines, and pieces of conversations get pulled and turned into narratives that don't reflect what actually is happening. And when you remove context, you change the meaning. When you start to block people who are saying the truth, even if you don't like it, all you're doing is a dissatisfaction for your true mission. When you block people because you want to silence them, that's not fair. And that's because you just want to control the narrative. Darcy Diamond, I said, hello, Polly, showed her a little heart. You blocked me. Same concept. I don't see nothing wonderful. I mean, like I said, bits and pieces. Certain things. And then certain things I don't agree with. And this is not a drag on V Goddess and on her channel. It's not a drag on her. So, this is something I've been speaking on for a long time. This is nothing new to me. This is not me reacting. This is me being consistent. And I'll say this clearly, twisting messages and building narratives that aren't based in fact or truth has to stop. Because it affects real people. And it creates situations that don't need to exist. And you may not know how you affected that person on the other end, and you had no clue. We've seen this behavior, this pattern before. Silencing, muting, blocking, when something doesn't fit a narrative. And we've also seen where somebody actually got hurt enough that they did want to go harm themselves, or they fell back into a trap of addiction, of pain, of trauma because of what somebody else said. And what somebody else said that may not have been the full truth. So that's not how truth works. That's not how any of this is supposed to work. So, V Goddess, this part is for you respectfully. Hold on. They don't care. They enjoy putting people through misery because they're miserable themselves. I think a lot of people are miserable. That's why I'm trying to put up Christian content. That's why I'm trying to put out something positive. Because I think a lot of people are miserable. And a lot of people do nothing but sit on YouTube all day long, moving from chat to chat to chat to chat, where this snowballs into something that it is today. So, V Goddess, this is specifically for you with respect. I've seen growth with you, even though the others are saying they don't, and we have a difference in opinion. I've seen some growth with you. I've seen you support me and say some wonderful things about me and about my Christian content. And I do appreciate that. I'm coming to take that at face value. And because of that, I'm going to be just as genuine back. Because I believe that you can love somebody even if you don't understand them or support everything that they believe. I don't think you're fully aware, though, of how some things are being handled in your chat in real time when you're on a live stream, especially when you're live and you have a panel and you're focused on that and not on your stream and not on your chat. Because when things like this happen, it's pretty obvious that you may not even be aware that they're doing this. And then some of the things, like I said the other day, can end up hurting your monetization. I have seen I have seen Darcy Diamond dox both, or try to, both myself and Golden Queen on your chat. I'm not going to go and report that because I'm trying to be kind and respectful and trying to keep some peace. But other people who want to be in this drama, they may not be as kind as me. And I do want to give you that as a warning for growth. I don't think you're fully aware. Because when somebody's muted or blocked for simply clarifying something accurate, that reflects on your space. And to be clear, this wasn't one time. I've now been blocked more than once in a space without clear reason while you are being nice to me. And at a certain point, the silencing, the muting, the blocking, it stops making sense. And it actually becomes my other issue. And that's not just about blocking itself, but the fact that it can happen while somebody is being talked about in that same space. If somebody is being discussed or criticized, they should at least be able to respond. This is Maggie's game. She likes to block you and then try to call you and tell you to come up and then not pull you on and then drag you, and you can't respond because you're blocked. Or you have to go in with another account and then people want to say you're troll and all that junk and you got multiple accounts. No, it's because you block people and try to silence them. When you try to silence people, it's not really a conversation. It's just one-sided. I've experienced this more than once for over a year. And that's always been a concern. And it's always been a soapbox and very annoying. Now, again, this isn't an attack. This is just awareness. So things can be handled fairly. And it's up to you, V Goddess, on how you want to run your channel. I do believe in fairness. And I want to say this too. If you prefer me to stay out of your chat, I will respect that. That is your space. I would appreciate some clarity from you directly so I know how to move forward. For me, I don't need to be liked. I don't expect to be treated fairly and respected because people aren't always going to do that. You're always going to have haters on the net. Haters, we don't have to interact. We don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. I will choose to be kind and respect people, and I can still choose to love people, even when they don't see things the same way as me. That's how I choose to run my life, and I'm not changing that. If I want people to respect me, my choices, and my positions on things, then I have to extend that same courtesy in return. But we should be able to be in the same space, ignore what we don't like, and still carry ourselves with class. And that's not a big ask. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going anywhere for a fight. And if you want me out of your space, I respectfully will stay out. Let me get over to my chat for just a second. I have my own things that make me miserable, but I don't get on live every single day and drag people into my misery. That's just not the kind of person I am. But Star, you are putting posts up that people are seeing, and that's also being the reactionary part. You have to think of this kind of with psychology. It's called a feedback loop. It's what you feed. If you feed the monster and if you feed the beast, it's going to get bigger and bigger. And if you cut off the beast at the source, at the food, it's going to start to stop and it's going to start to dissipate and de-escalate. And it's called a feedback loop with psychology. So you do something, you think something's going to happen, it happens, now you got to react, it happens, and it's just a circle, it's a cycle. You have to break the cycle if you really want to get away from the drama and find your peace. I've got to go run, heading out. I just wanted to hear you out for a bit. Thank you so much. I'm about to have to run too. I'm almost done. I just need to finish up a little bit more here. But so I'm not going to be mislabeled for telling the truth, especially when I know what I'm talking about, whether it's somebody you like or not, or whether it's truth that you want to admit or that you like or agree with or not, because the truth is out there. And I'll say this before I close. I've been speaking differently on truth for a long time. because I do life different. There are times when I have been laughed at, dismissed, and dealt with things that I shouldn't have had to deal with. And here we are a year later, and I still am. And I'm still standing on truth. I'm still choosing to grow. I'm still choosing to move with intention. I'm still choosing to be kind and respectful, even to people who haven't always given me that back, or who were dragging me or being rude to me. I've got some people that forgiveness is very big to me. I can forgive you, and I can choose to forget, and we can move on. Or I can choose to not forget, and I can just not want to have anything to do with you. Doesn't mean I hate you. It means I'm choosing if I want to remember and if I want to engage. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stay in cycles that don't lead anywhere. At some point, you need to tell the truth and you stand on it and you move on. And that's where I'm at. Muting me doesn't change what happened. And that's that. And clearly said with respect. I'm going to stand on truth, on growth, and I'm not moving backwards for anyone. What's real will stand, and I'm at peace with that. And with that, I'm going to spend my weekend with God. That's what's important to me. Not all of this. Risa, I have been putting up with this nonsense for months. I have too. I've been for a year. Risa, I think I need to tell you a little more facts before we have this conversation. Like I said, I don't want in drama. I don't want, and today I don't even have time for it. To be honest, today is my son's birthday. It is his 17th birthday, and we are about to, oh, I'm so excited. I get to go see the Super Mario Brothers movie with my 17-year-old. I was like, seriously, dude, that's what we're going to go do for your birthday? And I'm going to spend my weekend with my family. I'm going to spend my day with my 2 children, celebrating the birth of my son and how special he is to me. Going out to have a birthday dinner with my husband when he gets off work. And then spending tomorrow with my family in prayer and in remembrance of the cross. Because that's the true meaning of Easter for this weekend. I think that is everything I had to say. You may not like what I had to say. You may not. And I don't care, because I just needed to share where I stand and my direction and some clarity. And again, V Goddess, I really would appreciate if you would leave me a comment on how you would like to move forward past this, because I'm not going to be, this is not going to continue. I stay out of chats where I'm not wanted because I don't want drama. So if I'm not wanted, I need to know. With that, thank you. Have a good day. I'm going to have a wonderful day, other than maybe the Super Mario Brother movie is actually kind of good. I don't know. We shall see. I'll tell you tomorrow. With that, you guys all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. We're all doing one of the 4 out in this great big old world. Have a wonderful Easter. Remember what's important to you and hold it true to your heart. What's important to me, God, my family, my career, and then you guys. And you guys isn't to drag. My mission over here on YouTube is not what it's for. If you don't know my real mission, you haven't been listening very close. With that, see you guys on the flip. Have a good one. Bye-bye, guys.